As the sun sets on a beautiful Monday night, we are just 4 days away before a group of fun and ferocious young Cougars start their 2025 football season. We are here to talk about all that and more this evening. Welcome to the Local Sports Pod. My name is Mike Sosar, and the man standing next to me will be the one to lead those fun and ferocious Cougars into their 2025 season. Head coach Scott Sago joins me. Scott, thanks so much.
Oh, thanks for having me. Love doing this every week.
Yeah, and we're just getting started, right? Quickly thank our sponsors. We'll get more into that at the break here. R.M. Marchetti is our season sponsor for 2025, and Firo Funeral Home Incorporated is our game week sponsor for this week. It is game week officially. It is Nazareth area as the team heads that way this Friday afternoon to get ready for Friday evening 7:05 tilt. Scott, camp just broke, right?
Yeah.
Scrimmage, we'll talk about that in a bit this Saturday, but take a walk and give us a little bit on how camp went.
Yeah, so, I mean, we had a good camp. We learned a lot, putting a lot of new things into play within our offense and our defense and different things that we're changing up this season. So it's tough with the new rules. Like, everybody thinks that, just 2 days for 2 weeks like we used to do when I played, and it's not. So the first week is actually called heat acclimatization. You can do a double on a Monday, a double on a Wednesday, and then a double on a Friday. But Tuesday and Thursday, you can only do one practice. You can't hit. You could wear helmets and shoulder pads for the whole week. You can't hit. You can't tackle. It's more of like a glorified walkthrough going through with helmets and shoulder pads. And it's tough to get ready for a football season when you're doing that.
Right.
So once we got through that, it was really a lot of learning, a lot of teaching going on. Then we get into camp. First day, we're hitting on Monday. We're kind of going through things. We had a couple injuries right off the bat. So we called it, we were joking in the coach's room that we called it Black Monday.
Welcome to summer.
Yeah, we had a couple guys go down. Still some guys were waiting to get stuff back from doctors, but possibly, torn ACL, broken foot, couple concussions, shoulder injury, hamstring injury. It was just right off the bat. And everybody asks me, they're like, well, why do you think you're seeing all these injuries in football now? I think it's the lack of hitting. It really is. And I get it with, trying to protect kids and players from the concussions and everything else. But when you don't do that, you don't learn how to hit and how to make a tackle and how to be hitting. We had 1 week. We had 1 week to prepare, and now here we are. It's game week. So tonight, it's Monday night. We just did film, and then we got Tuesday and Wednesday of a live practice, and then you're getting ready to play. You're getting ready to play a game on Friday.
Right.
So
walk through on Thursday. And
kind of a lack of physicality, a lack thereof that it just, you don't really, they try to limit the hitting as much as you can to try to limit the concussions, because that seems to be the big topic anymore. But to be able to teach kids how to properly hit, how to properly do this, you need to be able to show them how to properly hit and how to properly tackle, because you get in weird positions. It's great to tackle a dummy or tackle a wheel or do that, but when you're actually trying to tackle a person, you might be in a weird position. So you got to kind of learn the body mechanics of doing that. And it's tough to do that when, there's no hitting. But we got through camp. Everything kind of turned, I would say, on Tuesday. Monday was a rough practice for the players, for the coaches, for everybody as a whole. We had a little coaches meeting before the practice on Tuesday. We came in, said it is what it is. It happened. We got to be better for our kids. We got to do better. And Tuesday, the light switch flipped. We had probably one of the best practices that we had all year, and it just carried the momentum from there. It went in the Wednesday, it went into Thursday, and then Friday was more of a kind of walkthrough day to get ready for our scrimmage on Saturday. But we made it through camp. It was definitely grueling. We were not easy on our kids. Football's a tough sport. So we went through that, and now here we are. We got to our scrimmage on Saturday. We just had that. Now we're preparing for Nazareth.
Yeah, as you can see, we're walking the sidelines. This is a walk between the hashtags. Coach Scott Sacco, Hazleton Area High School football Cougar head coach. Yours truly, Mike Sosler, with you. Just got done discussing the trials and tribulations of doubles in the beginning of camp. your first scrimmage, right?
Yeah.
Last Saturday, a couple
Yeah.
days ago. Stroudsburg came to town. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Scrimmages are tough. You're going into it. Your kids want to go out there. They want to perform. You get parents and fans that come and want to see the team for the first time, but it's really a tryout. We're trying to figure out our depth chart. We want to see who's going to be physical, who's going to come off the ball, who's going to show up, who's going to run their routes, who's going to fly around and make plays. But you don't prepare for it. We're not in film like we are this week for Nazareth. You're just, okay, we know Stroudsburg. They're another 6A school. They returned a lot of players. They're a really good team. Thought the scrimmage went well. We took our bumps and our bruises in it, but to try to go through it and try to see, overall, we left here, feeling pretty good about it. We felt a lot better when we watched the film. Kind of walked out of here on Saturday. Didn't think that we performed as well as we could have. But then we looked at the film and we realized, and I preached this to our players, like, we are right there. We are right there. The difference from being good and being great. And we showed them on the film. We showed them the little things, like it could be a little step or a misread or something that's got to be done quicker. But we are literally right there. I mean, we think that we have a pretty good team. Some of the other things that came out, we're not really sure how like some of the media that might be coming out and saying kind of what we are this year. So kind of see how that's going to go. But we think that we have a pretty good team. So
Yeah, we're really excited. Our special guest, he might be in the shot, but we'll pretend we missed him. Mention that, and he may mention this when we sit down. But I know we did Meet the Cougars last Friday. You had Meet the Cougars. We did our initial inaugural kickoff to all of that, and just a little bit of the introduction of the team and captains and such. Seems almost, and we'll talk about this in our second segment too, is even going into a Stroudsburg scrimmage or upcoming this week with Nazareth area. It seems like just with this offense and defense, a whole new regime of coaching in different ways. And like I said, our special guest, we'll get to him in a couple of minutes. You guys almost seem like you have the upper hand because nobody really knows what's going to happen.
I got a call from the Stroudsburg coach, and we were just, confirming our times. And he kind of asked me, he's like, his coaches were having a fit because they have no clue what we're running and what we're going to do. So we kind of went over that a little bit. So because to go against them, you want to let them prepare a little bit, just like we're kind of, they didn't change. So kind of give him a little bit of an insight on kind of what we were going to do, what we were looking to do, because you want to have an advantage, kind of even the playing field when it comes to scrimmage. They're looking to get the most out of it. We're looking to get the most out of it. Nobody's looking to win. You want to obviously perform well, but it's a warm up for that. And they say the best advancement that you make in a team is from week 1 to week 2. That scrimmage to us, we considered that week 1, right? So we're going to make some changes, and we got to tweak some things and be a little bit better on certain things on both sides of the ball. We got a little bit of special teams work in there as well. So try to do all phases of the game and try to just make things, go a little bit better and try to be ready now. So,
yep. Oh, there you have it. Just a look at how camp went, how the scrimmage happened. If you weren't here, you got a little more insight to that as well when we catch up with Coach here in our I guess our return walk to the end zone. We started in the west end zone. We're in the east. Now we're coming to you live from Harmon Guys Field. We will try to do so every Monday. Coach and I were just discussing that a little, depending on schedules with field hockey. And always, we are in Hazleton, so it could be anything from 85 degrees to snowing. So, yeah. But again, we are coming live, and we will be with you every Monday. Coach and I will take our walk. Coach is going to get hydrated now. I need it way more than he does. We'll be back with him to talk about what's coming up with Nazareth. Coach, I'm going to take your mic, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you. As I make my way over here, I want to tell you a little bit about our sponsors. For the season, we have R.L. Marchetti's. They were proud sponsors of our Meet the Cougar special, which happened last Friday. R.L. Marchetti's Plumbing and Heating. They're serving the area for over 110 years. Please give them a call at 570-455-7335. Emergency service available. We had discussed it last week. Toilet starts suddenly leaking. Randy will be there within a considerable amount of time. So big thanks to Randy at R.L. Marchetti's. Again, serving the area, Hazleton area and outside of Hazleton areas for over 110 years. We also have a game sponsor this week, and we want to thank them as well. Furo's Funeral Home Incorporated, 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton, serving our community since 1892. When funeral director Andrew Piskel and I sat down to discuss what to put on TV, we couldn't even figure it out quickly. Since 1892 was a really long time. So for all your family internal needs, please give them a call at 570-454-1561. That's Farrell's Funeral Home Incorporated, 26 West 2nd Street here in Hazleton, serving the community since 1892. They are our game sponsor for this week. Again, we are live here at Harmon Guys Field, set to talk to our special guest as we make our way over to the bench. We're going to do the bench, and we call this segment On the Bench. And as we come in, we're going to sit down. I'll have to get him a mic here. You may or may not recognize this fine young man.
Young is far from the truth.
But know this gentleman a long time. He happens to be.
You need me to get a little bit closer?
Come on over.
All right.
Not that big. I'm not that short. We have to showcase. But, please welcome into the pod and on the bench our good friend Marty Burns. He is the voice of WYLN Sports. He's going to be a part of this whole thing once the home season starts. Every home game here at Harmon Guys Field and Cougar football will be carried by WYLN. And tell us a little bit about yourself. What year are you in now? It seems like forever.
Well, it feels like forever. Unscientifically, I think this is year 28. So doing it more than half my life, even though some people may think I'm like 80. But I was just telling Kelly before you made your march down the field, you want to feel old? And you talked about Randy Marchetti. He looks a heck of a lot better than me, and we were the same age. We played together at Bishop Hayfie together.
Randy still looks like he's in high school.
Yeah.
So
where I look like they're ready to put me in a home. So.
Well, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us your beginnings, your endings, how you got into it, I guess, is the main thing.
Well, I guess actually it started. I went to King's College, got my degree in mass communications. Lifelong sports fan. That probably comes from my dad. I always thought I was going to be the next Harry Callis, but I never had the voice for it. So went through King's, came out, and ironically, the late great Tom Reagan, he had me come on in the old WXPX. They had 1 year remaining. Where
XPX QEQ days.
Yep, and we broadcasted Cougar football. I believe that was when Richie Matz was still the coach of the Cougars. Did some Bishop Hayfie football as well. Funny story, we went up to Carson Long when the Vikings played them up there, and we actually did a game in a gazebo. And we went off the air for a few minutes because we blew the power strip that they had us hooked into with all the crock pots that they had for the food and everything like that. So got my start there. Then did some sideline stuff for WYLN, and then had the opportunity to do some play-by-play with our buddy Joe DeMelfi and the late great Tim Thompson, and here we are 20-some years later, still kicking away. I knew we were talking about before you guys went live. Last year was funny. I said to Coach DeMelfi, I said, do you realize that I think this Cougar-Berwick football game is the first time we're going to call a game where both head coaches, we called games when they were players, and now we got Coach Sacco who called some of his games. So Yeah, and Randy still looks like he's in high school, so I'm getting real old here.
By the way, he said he loves when we give him the props. I know Coach Sacco gave him a lot. And he told the story about his grandfather, and so Randy likes when we give him the props. It's good stuff.
Well, Randy always likes to get pumped up, so I think we've probably done that plenty for him.
And he still looks like he's in high school.
Yeah, he still does,
But,
and probably can still shoot from about half court. Yeah, I remember. Just a side note, I remember Coach Caputo. If you remember the old floor at Bishop Hayfie, and off to the wing near the sideline, they had the Viking basketball.
Right.
He used to have Randy stand there and shoot. Randy could hit it, so he probably gave the inspiration to Steph Curry.
And it wasn't only a swisher. He was a banker back in the day.
Well, he's a banker, all right. He's banking at home all the way.
And he still looks like he's in high
Yeah,
school.
that's it.
But Marty, you mentioned about being here, starting on the sidelines and stuff since Coach Matt's. You've seen pretty much every coach that's come, through their regime, pulled their regime through here, and it's a new era of Cougar football.
Yes, it is.
I've had the pleasure now of talking with Coach Sacco for the last 2 months. Give me your thoughts and the outlooks just from what you've read, what you've seen, speaking briefly with Coach Sacco on where they may be headed.
I in talking to coaches through the years, and a lot of them looked at me strange and didn't think it was a big advantage, but especially this week, until you get this Cougar team on film, I think Coach Sacco and his staff has the biggest advantage because teams don't know what to expect. You have an idea of who's returning and who's going to be some of the key players and so on and so forth, but you could go back to when he played for Coach Petrone. You could go back to when he was on the staff of Coach Bookman. Maybe you get something from there because you always hear coaches always take something from, coaches that they played for or coaches that they worked with, but they always have their own little tweaks. So you don't know what to expect from this Hazleton area football team until you get to week 1. But even still, you go through each week, you don't know what you're going to get because each week you're going to tweak, each week you're going to add something new. So to me, I think they have a huge advantage with that as the intangible, that teams aren't going to know what to expect from Hazleton area. Now, it's going to be a challenging schedule. Going down to Nazareth is not going to be easy. And then you're going to change things up with another long road trip against, if you know anything about Williamsport, they're always going to be athletic. And it's just about how many weapons do they have. You've got to play very disciplined football, especially on the defensive side because of the athletes that they have. But I have a feeling that Coach Sacco has learned from coaches in the past. He'll be able to adjust. And I heard him talking as you guys were walking down. I couldn't hear everything on the far side of the field because I'm old. But the one thing is, this week is normalcy. You've had doubles, you've had the long practice sessions, but the scrimmage, and even though it's controlled, it's still a game. Now you're into game week. This week is game week. Now you're getting to normalcy. And it'll be interesting to see how they come out. And the one thing we talked about, and you always got to remember, no matter how seasoned the team can be, you still got to remember their kids. And you don't know how teams are going to react when the lights come on Friday night. Emotions are going to be high. It's the season opener. And then in 2 weeks, you come back here for the home opener. So they have the challenge of 2 very highly emotional games. How does the players adjust to that? You'll probably see the first quarter and a half. You'll see guys jumping, trying to get a jump because they're just so geared up, ready to play. But I think that's with any football team. So how they adjust, how they calm down and still be able to play with emotion, but still play discipline, that'll be a big key to the success.
Yeah, it's really exciting as we usher in this new era of Cougar football with Coach Sacco. It's really exciting. Little bit of stumble there, but you gave me into my next lead, September 5th, right? We kick it off on WYLN.
West Scranton.
Right here, Armand Field. Yourself, Coach DeMelfi, some other guy who hangs out on the sidelines sometimes.
So I don't know who that is.
But I want to thank you for coming down.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Hopefully, once we get more into the season, we can have you again.
Now, just remember, the Kelsey brothers went crazy with Taylor Swift. You think we're closing the gap by having me on? It just got wider.
Well, I can't say much. He's a good friend, ladies.
And just remember, Jay Billis has a law background as you keep going up and down these sidelines.
Oh, that could be my next. If this doesn't work out, I guess I can make the case.
Well, there you go. There you go. Just watch. He's a very well-spoken man.
Marty Burns, ladies and gentlemen, from WION Sports. He is the voice of WION Sports. Good friend of myself. Don't forget September 5th. The Cougars' home season kicks off here at Harmon Guys Field, and every home game this season, right? Live on WION.
That's what I've been told.
Both of us have been told, and we're very excited about it.
Yes,
so,
we are.
So I want to talk a little bit about sponsorship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, thanks to Marty, and hopefully down in the middle of the season, we can get him back.
Unless the ratings imploded that much, you won't have me back.
It all depends on followers. So, people.
Yeah, they know me too.
As we get ready to bring Coach Sacco back in, big thanks to Marty. Always a good friend. We're going to head back over the end zone here and meet up with Coach. But want to remind you that we still do have sponsorships. As I mentioned, RL Marchetti is our season sponsor. Sponsorship for the seasons are still available. We're 2 weeks away from the first home game, September 5th here at Harmon Geist. So it's not just the home games. It's every game. We will be with you every Monday from now until the end of October. There are game sponsors, much like Pharaohs came in with us for Nazareth Game Week. So, again, if you're interested, you can contact us at 570-778-5942. You can also check us out on Facebook, the local sports pod. PM us. Again, we are on here every week with walking the hashtags. Coach Sacco is making his way back in here. We're going to talk a little bit about Nazareth, and I hope you were able to take in that most interesting special guest interview for this week.
I loved it.
Marty's a good guy. Marty's a good guy.
It was funny because when I was on the coaching staff with Coach Bookman, I was actually in the booth for the games. So Marty's booth would be right next to ours.
Yeah, right. Because
yes,
scoreboard. The booth is just over from.
He would always give it's a Sacco chiropractic first down. You'd always hear it. You'd always be able to hear it through the door, we'd always get a good chuckle. So
yeah, Scott is actually referring to the old ground round. Can you give us one?
What's that?
Ground round first down.
Ground round first down.
I hope you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. We're just bringing back the oldies here, but so Coach, as I mentioned, we're getting ready now. It is game week. I can't believe it's here. It seemed like you and I just started to talk 2 months ago. You were hired 6 months ago, and here we are in 4 days.
These
Cougars are coming at you.
Talked to our guys today, and we had Nazareth has been on the board in the locker room. I think it was about 124 days that we have, and now we have it down to 4. So it's been a long time coming. I can't believe that it's here already. I mean, we're ready to go. Tonight feels like a fall night.
Yeah, we were just talking when we came on, like the sun went down behind the old church back here just west of us. And once the sun went down, you could start to feel it in the air.
Yeah. My wife told me when I left this morning I should take a jacket. I said, what are you, nuts? It's August.
It was 80 when I was on my way here, almost 80.
Yeah,
but, it's dropping
it's
fast.
Football. This is football weather. This is what you want. This is what you want.
So again, we talked about the Stroudsburg scrimmage this past Saturday. I know have had time to review film. As a matter of fact, Mondays are film sessions for the most part for the team. And I got to catch a little bit of it downstairs as I was coming to get you to get prepared for the show. What do you know of this Nazareth area team? How are they looking? I know we talked last week about their their placement in the playoffs and such last year, but what are we looking forward to?
They're a great team. They're a great team. It's a tough one to open up with first. They're definitely up there. Their quarterback is committed to Auburn. I think he's the 16th ranked quarterback in the country. He gets slinging. You make one mistake and you're getting burned deep, and he will put it on a dime. He did it here to us last year. I wasn't coaching last year. I was in the stands, and he threw one of the nicest passes I've ever seen in high school, and it was probably right about where we're standing here. I mean, he was rolling. He was probably back on about the 40-yard line. He was rolling to his right and threw it on a dime right into the breadbasket, center of the end zone for a touchdown. And you literally look around the stands and people were standing up saying, wow. At that time, he was committed to Virginia Tech. Then he changed commitment. He was going to go to Penn State. Now he's going to Auburn. So he's to get exposure and looking for that, he's up there. Their running back is back. We limited their running back last year to, I think it was 36 yards on the ground. He has this circled. He's a senior this year. He has this game circled. He's going to want to be able to run the ball against us. They got a lot of other guys coming back. They got some good wide receivers. The tight end, middle linebacker, his number is 0. Another really, really good player all over the field, makes plays all over. They're a good team. They're a good team. They graduated guys, but there's that area in Allentown where they just reload.
Yep.
They have a big team.
Seems the Lehigh Valley teams for some reason manage to reload with depth every season.
Yeah. So they'll have their sidelines packed. It's definitely it's a tough test. When I got hired, they said here, first year coaching, you get Nazareth first. Good luck. So our guys are ready for it though. We're ready, and I know I heard you guys talking about we have the advantage. We do, because there's teams wondering what are we going to do? What are you going to run? How are we going to do it? We've had some time to put some stuff in. We have a chance to be a really, really great football team. It's that I said it to our guys in film today. We are right there. And there's a lot of places, a lot of media. That's what I was trying to refer to before. They have it written on a board in the locker room. They have us ranked as 12th in our conference. There's 13 teams in our conference. We're counted out. We're counted out from day one. They're like, new coach. They were 500 last year. Kind of coming in. How's it going to look? They're going to have their growing pains. We got some great guys. We got some talented guys. We got Freddie Corrado throwing it at quarterback. I mean, everybody knows him as the baseball prospect, signed with Penn State. He's had 27 D1 offers in baseball. He loves football. Told me that. I love football. I love being with my guys. And it's something that I love to hear because I preach it all the time. We want our kids playing multiple sports. And he said, football helps me with my baseball stuff. So he loves doing it because, that's kind of a big fear that a coach has, is see a guy on a different sport. He gets all these offers, he signs to go to a big time school to play. And it's like, oh, what's he going to do? What's he want to do with football? But he is a great supporting cast around him. We got some great guys. We had some guys that didn't play in the scrimmage, like an Ashton Carlick, who's one of our captains. He didn't play in the scrimmage. He'll be ready to go on Friday, and I said this to a lot of the media outlets. We are a very young team, but we have leaders and senior leadership sprinkled into places that you want. We got our center, Jake Zabataki, 3-year starter,
The beast.
returning. We got Sam Heller, who's our tight end DN, made a huge play. Totally changed the momentum in the scrimmage. He tight end took a pass. 2 guys converged on him. They wanted nothing to do with them. Broke the tackle. Went 40 yards for a touchdown.
Unbelievable.
So we got some guys. You got a guy like Logan Gennaro, another senior captain, gonna bring in that leadership and bringing that in, and that's what you need with a young team. You need a couple of those guys to stand up on the pillars and stand up and show these guys how to lead, how to be players, how to do it. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to get some momentum going forward in week 1 and just continue it into our season. So we feel good. We feel good about it. We may be the only ones that think that, but we do. We feel good about our chances. We feel good about our shot this week. And that's it. We take 1 week at a time. You improve on that, and then you worry about the next week after that. But we're ready to go. We're ready to play.
Yeah, I know we have to do 2 road games before we actually get back here in 2 weeks, Coach. As we get set to hit the red zone here and head to the end zone. Just tell our folks a little bit about there. I know we have 2 weeks to prepare, and the kids are going back to school just after Labor Day. which will actually be game week 3 and getting set for the home opener. What do you want to say to everybody out there? I know we have 2 weeks to look, and
So
it's always, it can go either way, but what do you want to say? We want to see this place packed, right?
yeah,
I
we're
mean,
trying to do some exciting stuff. It was funny when I got hired. We didn't just get me; we got hired as a package deal. You get my wife, you know my wife very well.
yeah, I'm a lot more involved now than I thought I would be. It's great.
My wife had all these different ideas and all these different things, and I told her, hey, whatever happens outside this fence, off of this green grass, that's on you. So we're planning some great events to do. The first home game, the home opener, we're doing alumni night. So anybody that played, a former player, this is your home. This is, it looks different now than it did when I played.
Right.
We played on dirt and grass, and the end zones dipped down in the corner. We by the middle of the season, there was no grass in the hashes.
Always.
But we want to have those former players come back. So we're inviting any former player come back pregame, come on the field. You could bring your kids on the field, your family on the field, show your kids like, hey, this is where I played. This is where, dad played one time, long time ago. So pregame, we're opening that up to any alumni to come out. We're going to have the quarterback club sponsored a nice little drop back to get a picture with, saying like welcome alumni, to kind of do that, because we don't really have, homecoming in high school is not like homecoming is in college. Homecoming in college, that's when you're coming back, but
it goes a whole week.
Yeah, it's more so like homecoming court, the dance. That's what homecoming is about in high school. So homecoming will still be our regular homecoming, but we wanted to do an alumni night and have that. Our next week, we're going to do a September 11th night, because our game's on September 12th. So it's the day after September 11th. Try to honor those, that tragically passed away in September 11th. Have some first responders, military, them be involved in the pregame stuff, them be involved in the flag. I believe that is the game that we're going to have the paratroopers come down with the football.
Always good stuff. Yeah.
So we're trying to do some fun, exciting stuff here, at the stadium. We're going to have different theme nights for our student section. We're going to have different themes. We got involved with the Spirit Club, and, they came up with some different themes to do. Like they have a Hawaiian night, they have a neon color night. There's a couple different things they do. So we'll be posting that on our Facebook page.
Right.
So we want everybody to follow the Facebook page and try to keep up to date. I know some of the younger kids are like, Facebook. I mean, we're getting old. So we're still on Facebook and kind of do that. But all the other social media outlets, we're not really on as much, but we try to get on as much as we can on Facebook. That's right. That's right. But we're kicking off a lot. We're involved in our 7th and 8th grade program, involved in our 9th grade program. They kick off on Saturday. So we play Friday night Nazareth, and then our JVs will actually play Saturday, and then our 9th grades playing Monday. They're going to be, anytime we're on the road, they're usually home. So we will have home games for those teams. So, I plan on being here. We want all of our fans to come out and support.
It's a total support group all the way around, whether the varsity's playing, the 9th grade team is playing.
Well, those kids that are playing in those, whether it's JV, 9th grade, 7th and 8th grade, they will eventually be here. And, a lot of people say, oh, Hazleton's such a big school, you should have no problem getting kids out to play. It's actually not true. It's tough to get kids to come out and play. There's so many things in 2025 to take their interest and to, I don't want to do this, or I want to do that, or I want to do that. But if you kind of build it up and build it the right way, and they're excited to be here and excited to do that, and you got to get people here, you got to get people in the stands to cheer them on and want to do that. And then they see what happens on a Friday night. I mean, when I was a kid, I would come here, both sides were packed. People were standing around the field.
Discussed that last week.
You couldn't believe how you're like, oh, I want to do this. I want to be able to go out there and play in front of this crowd and do that. And people want to complain, football's not how it used to. Nobody goes. Well, it takes that effort and that step to come down and come be a part of it.
Right.
And come to the games and show your face and come out and support your team. That's how we get these kids interested in playing. I could go into the school and preach as much as I want. You should come out and play football. It's like the old Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. That's it. You want the football team to do better. We need our support from our fans and our crowd and our parents and our family members. We need to get everybody out here and cheer us on and show them what a Friday night looks like. That's how we get kids interested and get kids coming.
Yeah, we had discussed last week too of how things would be here on a Friday night, and usually in the first couple weeks of the season, I know we're on the road this year. The warmer weather is here, summer's coming to an end, but like I said, that's Labor Day week, which is our third game week of the season. Kids will have a few days in school, pass the word. Time building up to that, win or lose, it's just a feel to build on. So definitely want to see everybody out here September the 5th when you guys come back home. But keep in tune to what's going on. Again, as Coach Sacco mentioned with their Facebook, local sports pod will have things in and out, throughout the game week. Again, as we come to you live every Monday. I guess we're coming in for the touchdown here.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for doing this as always. It's been, so gratifying to come to you and say, hey, I want to do this. I want to get involved, and you allowing. So it's got to be close to the 9 o'clock hour, and you've probably been at this since probably about 4:30 this morning. So along with your personal business and just what you're doing is honorable, respectable, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Good
Appreciate
luck
it.
against Nazareth area this week. Let's get one.
Get one.
1-0 every week, brother.
Hope so.
1-0 every
Hope
week.
so.
All right. A great thanks to Scott. Once again, we are coming to you live from Harmon Guys Field. That's going to wrap it up for game week, Nazareth area. Remember, the Cougars are on the road this week. They'll be on the road at Williamsport next week. We will be back with you next Monday, which will be the 25th of August. Dog days of summer are rolling down. Football season is here. Again, you could feel it out here tonight. It is a gorgeous night. It was a gorgeous day. You saw the sunset behind us. Big guys like Coach Sacco and I don't need sweatshirts or sweaters, but I'm looking for the free swag. But we're just joking. But like Scott mentioned, Coach Sacco mentioned, come out here. We'll talk more about it in the next few weeks. I want to quick thank our sponsors again. RL Marchetti, our season sponsor. Again, special thanks to our game week sponsor, Funeral's Funeral Home. Both have been serving the Hazleton and outgoing areas for years and years. They are names. They are names in our community, and that's why we are glad to welcome into our sponsorship stable. A big thank you to our special guest, the voice of WILN Sports, Marty Burns. We'll hear from him later in the season. And thank you mostly to all of you for spreading the word. As I always say at the end of each of our posts, please continue to follow. Please continue to comment. Most of all, please continue to view on YouTube at the local sports pod. Also, Facebook and Instagram immediately after we go live. The local sports pod. I can't thank you enough. Our followers are growing. Interest is growing on what we're doing. Much ado as to the new regime. So good luck to the Cougars this Friday. I told you they're fun. They're feisty. They're caged right now, and they are ripping and tearing to get out and hit that green up at Nazareth area on Friday night. If you have a chance, please head up. If not, please check out again, as Coach Sacco mentioned, the Hazleton area football Facebook. Also, the local sports pod on Facebook and Instagram, and on YouTube as we come to you every night. And again, next Monday, we'll do it again. And we will review what happened back here at Nazareth. Hopefully good news. Remember, we're just getting started, as I mentioned, and I don't mean us. I mean this whole entire program. That's what it's about. Come see us. September 5th is the home opener. We'll get more into that in the next 2 weeks. Mike Sosar signing off. Again, thanks to Coach Sacco. Let's go Cougars. Good night, everybody.